So this video is just to look at the developing trends moving into mid-month. Not so much rainfall specifics, but more so the mechanisms and where the focus rain can be or should be. So this is from yesterday, this model run. So a lot of this activity in the southeast is occurring now, and then there'll be the next system that moves on to the southwestern Australian coast in a couple of days. But we're sort of looking beyond that because these current two systems in the southwest and southeast are pretty much locked in. Although the rain in the southwest might be a little bit overstimulated, but we'll play that as it comes. So from around the 11th, we want to see the next major cycle building, and that's those storms through the northern interior into Queensland. So that's from here, from the 11th. And then we should see something moving up through the Great Australian Bight during the same sort of period that captures these storms and pushes them through to the east, and we get a bit of a low pressure system through the southeast interior. So these are widespread storms. While they're not showing much rainfall, this is quite typical for how they start to build early in model runs. We'll see these pockets of rain increase as we get closer to the date. But so again, we're looking for the trend, not so much the specifics. So moving in towards mid-month, we see this feature moving in through South Australia, which is what we're expecting. We're sort of expecting it a few days earlier than what's shown here, but generally, this is what we're looking for, a bit of a trough, and there'll be a bit of a low pressure system or a frontal system that sweeps up through the Great Australian Bight, pulls these storms across from the interior into the southeast. So if we keep following this through, we start to see this bit of a low pressure system forming through the Channel Country and northeast pastoral districts of South Australia. So that's sort of what this is. And you'll see those storms start to pull in from the Northern Territory and through Queensland. So if we close that down again and we go back through the model, we can see that's sort of what the feature is towards the end of the loop. So there's the upper trough, there's the low pressure system in through the Channel Country, and those storms come in through the Northern Territory, in through Queensland, parts of New South Wales, and even to Victoria and South Australia. So this is essentially what we're looking for to some extent. So the storms will build through Western Australia, the Northern Territory, and then they'll become transient and move to the east, and that's sort of what this model run simulates. We can go to the next run, and it's completely different, but generally we see those storms from around mid-month building through the north, which again is a key part of this. So the trend is there for those storms to be building, and the timelines are slightly different. But again, there's that low pressure system through northwest New South Wales, the Channel Country region, which is about the right place. So those ingredients are there. That low pressure system is a bit further south through South Australia, which is also part of that expectation. And so there's another trend through another model. If we go to the latest GFS model, or we'll go to this morning's run, again, we see those storms building through the Northern Territory from around week 2, and they begin to shift across into the interior with this frontal system from about mid-month, and they'll push across South Australia and into the east. So again, we've got all the pieces of the puzzle. They just need to line up now, which is very important for how we forecast this event. So it's going to be just a matter of wait and see. Again, these models aren't showing a lot more rain, but you can see in the latest run, those storms through southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales are starting to show more moisture potential, which is really good to see. That shows that the atmosphere, the computer models are starting to respond to the atmosphere towards the middle of October. So providing we get that northwest flow and the upper trough and frontal system to move through South Australia, we can see that the volatility is there, potentially. We just need to see that form further west through the interior parts rather than just coastal storms. So we can almost guarantee coastal storms this time of year. So if we go back through the model run there, we can see the storms building through the interior from around the 11th, which is sort of what we're expecting, and then they thicken up towards mid-month. But I'd expect them to be slightly more widespread than that. If we go to tropical tidbits, so that's that same model run there, showing that bit of a cut-off flow starting to form through the southeast towards mid-month. But if we go to the ECMWF, just for comparison, this is where the variability is. This model hasn't even got the slightest interest in this yet. You can see from around week 2 into week 3, the interior is generally clear. There is this front moving in. This is the key part of the forecast that we need. The trough is there, but it's not showing any rain or any storms at this stage. So again, the two pieces of puzzle are there for that run. And then the AI model If we go back, again, it's not really showing much interest either. So we still might be just outside of that window, but it is showing storms building through the southeast and the Northern Territory moving into mid-month. And essentially those two parts of that trough runs from the Kimberley down through Western Queensland and New South Wales. We need that trough to link up with the Arafura Sea, Timor Sea, to see that moisture funneled in through the interior. So within the three models, there are the components, and this is the frustrating part of the computer models. It's generally not till a few days out do you get that that confirmation that you need. So the puzzle is building, and we'll keep on top of this, but there's still a bit more computer simulations to go as far as I'm concerned. And we need to see that northwest region pick up the moisture and transport it into the interior.